Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Rockin' Royal, rockin' Navy, know y'all with me, let's get it, baby, rockin' Royal, rockin' Navy, know you with me, let's get it, baby.
Yeah, no, we were a little delayed getting out of there, but out of Provo, but yeah, it was all good.
What's the confidence of this team after a big win?
Good, and I think the reason of how we won that game, was just the effort was probably as good as it's been all season long. Thought we made a lot of simple plays offensively, and then our commitment to the rebounding, so things we've been talking about all year. But just I think that gives the guys confidence because of how we were able to get that win.
When do you you were just talking moments ago here, your initial impressions on the glass floor and the Big 12's decision to roll this out for this big event. What are your thoughts on the glass floor?
Yeah, it was cool. It's unique for sure. I think there are two teams I think in Europe who's it's their floor for all their games, and so I feel like it's been tested well enough. But look, man, that stuff's above my pay grade. We just come up and try to win the game regardless of what the floor is.
Your thoughts on how you talked a little bit about after the Texas Tech game, how it's just been kind of a challenging year. Do you almost feel like it's a new start now with the postseason here and just kind of everything that's happened in the past? That's in the past, and now it's a new season.
Yeah, I think every postseason is kind of like that. I think for our guys, understanding what happened in that Texas Tech game, like I just mentioned, is the thing that we want to sort of be our identity, our battle cry as we move into this postseason and just play, to that. And I think there was a lot of guys that contributed to that win. And this time of year, that's all that really matters.
AJ was named Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Your thoughts on him getting that recognition and being viewed as one of the best players, not only in the country, but the league as well?
Yeah. Happy for him, happy for Richie and Rob to also get named to the all-league teams. Well-deserved honors for all of them. And at the same time, it's a testament to the rest of the guys that were able to, help in those awards. I think individual awards or team awards as well. So happy for our guys to get recognized.
Do you think that with AJ, where has he improved the most from the beginning of the year, you think?
I think his approach, I thought he hit a little bit of a lull midway through. I thought he really stepped up kind of once he got past that. But just I think where he's improved is just his decision making. I think he's with the different iterations of our team, I think the spacing's been a little bit different based on who's out there. He's done a good job of adjusting. I think last game in particular, I thought he was just making simple plays, man. And as great as he is, when he makes a simple play, it opens the floor up, for him to do what he does, which is attack. And so those are areas where I've been impressed with decision making. I think, his ability to guard as well. I think he's somebody that you can put on multiple styles of players. He can chase shooters around like we saw at Iowa State. He can play pick and roll defense. You can put him on a post-up guy. So he's very versatile. I think he's grown in that area as well.
Simple plays and keeping it simple was the theme against Texas Tech. Is that the approach again coming into this tournament?
It is, and I think it allows our guys to just play hard without thinking as much. It allows the coaches to, hold these guys accountable for very simple things, and just let their effort, instead of making a scheme change, just challenge the effort. And that's been that was a good recipe the other night. And Kansas State's going to present different challenges, right, than what Texas Tech did. But if your backbone is just that consistent effort, and then on the offensive side making simple plays, we feel good about that recipe.
Should we expect an up and down offensive game against K-State, or how do you see this game playing out?
Well, they like to get up and down. I mean, particularly after misses, they really do as good or better job than any team in the country. So our transition defense has to be good. Our ability to offensive rebounds got to be good to try to slow them down. So you never know what to expect in a tournament style game, but less about what we think the game's going to be like, and more about our approach to this game. understanding that the multiple efforts and the simplicity that we talked about is really what we're focused on.
Every team in this league has such great talent. We've seen it across the board. I think sometimes people forget how just deep anyone can get you in this league. PJ Haggerty poses such a tough challenge. Your thoughts on going up against him a second time?
Yeah, great player, great scorer. He's got good size, doesn't get sped up, can get to his spots. And they've got shooting around him as well. So he's done a good job all year in a situation where it's been a little up and down in their program as well. But he's been consistent, in terms of scoring in basketball. So we'll have to do a good job of showing him the respect that he deserves.
And when you look at, going back to AJ, he came in with such big expectations, heralded recruit #1 player. Is it kind of rewarding? I know you're big on proof of concepts, but just the talented players can come here and still maybe exceed the high expectations, be freshman of the year, player of the year conversation.
Yeah, I think there's a clear blueprint of how individuals can succeed at BYU while having team success, and also doing it in a way that puts you in an incredible light for the NBA. Right? That's what we've set out to do is to do those three things. Have great team success, have guys have individual success, and have guys prepare themselves for the NBA. And so, with what Yegor did as an individual and helped propel our team to a good run last year, and then what he's doing in the NBA this year in terms of being league ready by the time he gets there, I think AJ's doing a lot of the same things, and then what he'll do in the NBA will be fun to follow, and it's great for, I think, people around the country who are considering BYU to see that what that looks like, to understand that it's real, where they can do all those things and do it in a way, in a place that cares about all three of those things.
Is Richie with the team?
He is. Coach Richie is activated. Yeah, he was great the other night. That's what's great about team sports, man. It was, and it's not just Richie's, other guys who are hurt. We've got maybe a guy or two that's out of the rotation, but everybody's invested in trying to give input and trying to do what they can to help the team win. And I think that's the great thing about team sport.
Wanted to ask you too, you bring up player availability or players that are a little bit nicked up, but Richie obviously out for the year, but what about Keba Keita? He got a little bit limping a little bit at the end of that game against Tech. What's the outlook for Keita?
Yeah, he looks fine. I think everybody's played through injuries. Everyone's kind of banged up this time of year, but he looks good.
And with Keita too, follow up on him, he went 9-11 against Tech. It just seemed like a vintage Keita game. Can you expect that, you think, game after game in the postseason now, because he seems so key to this team?
Yeah, I think so. We decided to just play him more minutes. He's been he handled that well, right? So I think just keeping him on the floor is important. He's a guy that impacts it on both ends of the floor. I thought our guys did a good job of looking for him offensively, more than we have in some parts of the season. So yes, I think he can carry that over and help be a catalyst for this postseason.
And your thoughts on Rob, and not only was he offensively, it just seemed like the defensive intensity too was there in that Tech game. Do you think that can carry over and not just be a one-game deal?
I do think that. I think Rob's a very competitive young man. I thought he was tremendous. He led us in that game. Thought his leadership was on full display, more than it's been all year. Led by example on the defensive end, to your point. He thought the intensity was outstanding. And just played maybe harder than he ever has in his entire life. Honestly, that's what it felt like in that game. And then I think that gave him, a lot of juice on the offensive end to get to his spots. And so yes, I think he can carry that over for sure.
And then just thinking here too, with the Big 12 tournament, what lessons maybe did you learn from last year in your first year as a college coach that you want to maybe change up routines or schedules going into this postseason run?
Yeah, I don't know if anything in terms of changing things up. I mean, just this time of year, you want to keep guys as fresh as possible, mentally and physically. So a little bit less is more approach, and just like I said, freshness this time of year is really what's most important. Being able to play, extremely hard and not get too hung up on anything other than those things.
Last thing, excuse me. Your thoughts on just the overall league. I mean, you've talked about it a lot, how good of a league this is, but just maybe the draw? I know you're going to probably look at one game at a time, but just the path possibly to chasing a conference tournament title.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the goal, regardless of what the path looks like. I haven't really even sunk my teeth into what that really looks like. I mean, I think this time of year you have to really just focus on what's in front of you, which we are. Obviously, our staff is doing a lot of the legwork behind the scenes as far as scouting the potential upcoming games, but just trying to keep our guys focused on the task at hand right now.
Defense hitting hard like some seashells. Getting to the green, I ain't talking Kale. Boy, that team up north, man, but oh well. Player. We getting jiggy with that boy Cosmo. Hey. We granting kids wishes like that boy Cosmo. I got you. They steady hating on us, but we who they watch though. The Pac-12 mad, but we still on top, bro. Jaron Harder, Cody Epps, that's a cool connect.
Yeah, my team is kinda old, but it's cool we that.